Marcello Lippi believes Manchester United may be a more dangerous team away from Old Trafford, but no team in Europe poses a greater danger at home than Juventus. They have a 100% record at the Stadio delle Alpi in this season's competition. They haven't even conceded a goal in their last 7 Champions League games here.
Yeah, very much the team lineup, the Juve team lineup is going to be as the captain showed us at the start. I just wonder whether Di Vaio might have played alongside Trezeguet in the middle with Nedved out on the left-hand side, but no, looks as if very much as if Nedved's going to be the support striker.
The whistles because Fabian Barthez has managed to take up much of the first minute with a goal kick. Lilian Thuram bursting forward. He was the last to cry off of the Juventus flu victims last week. Fell ill on the morning of the match at Old Trafford.
Yeah, United I wonder what that was there. United will have to cater for him, particularly without playing a natural left-sided player. Thuram doesn't make the sort of runs he used to make, but when he does, he's very, very effective.
This is Camoranesi, who plays just in front of him. Now Lilian Thuram. A little deep for Di Vaio, who was fouling Gary Neville. Di Vaio had 5 days in bed with his illness last week. Another who missed out on the trip to Manchester, but he made a scoring return to the team against Como on Saturday. Di Vaio. David's finding Nedved once more. Phil Neville seems to be following Nedved wherever he goes. Lilian Thuram. Rolled in dangerously. Di Vaio it was who made the run across field and forced the corner kick.
A good recovery here, but the first reaction was you've let him get the other side of your skip. Full marks to Roy Keane. Great recovery.
Corner which Camoranesi will take. Flicked away by Phil Neville, hit by Pavel Nedved and deflected against the post by Ferrara and headed to safety by Roy Keane. But Barthez looked beaten there by the touch from Ciro Ferrara. Got the corner on the way from Nedved. His shot that forced the alarm again. Important header by Keane. Nedved will cross once more. This time it's Ferdinand who climbs highest. Solskjaer hooks it away. Manchester United do have a counter-attack on, and Beckham has spotted Solskjaer in some space. Excellent pass from Beckham. Giggs lets it run. Veron, it's 3 against 3 momentarily. Veron has got beyond Zambrotta. No free kick. Ryan Giggs, 1-0. Dream start for Manchester United. Ryan Giggs from the substitutes bench gives them the lead in 15 minutes. Saber Veron made it.
Well, that's incredible, isn't it? A load of pressure on the United defence. Shot hits the post, a secondary corner. Clive, don't underestimate the part Solskjaer played in this. He got the ball from the corner. This is the end product. A little bit of fortune there from Veron, but once he's there, very cool. Full marks to Giggs, not in the best of form, but still.
Is this a foul, Ron?
Well, funnily enough, last week, I don't think it is actually. I think he's just stumbled over the ball.
Good decision.
But prior to that, Solskjaer received the ball, played it out right, sprinted up the left wing, took a good crossfield ball from Beckham, and then played Veron back in. He had a major part in that, Solskjaer did.
Now Zambrotta. Header away by John O'Shea. Hit by Antonio Conte, charged down by Philip Neville. Camoranesi. That's a useful cross. Trezeguet! Back off the crossbar. Close shave for Manchester United, but really David Trezeguet should have scored. Free header from a wonderful cross from Camoranesi.
Definitely. That would be my biggest criticism of United at the moment. They're letting Juve cross too many balls in, but that was a let-off. I mean, in all fairness, Trezeguet, I think he should have done better with the earlier chance. When he tried to flick it over Keane's head, he definitely should have tucked that one away. But it all builds up, doesn't it? Couple against the woodwork, missed chances.
Di Vaio. Lofted back in towards Trezeguet, dealt with by Gary Neville this time. Conte, Davids. Some persistency, but some persistent pressure now building from Juventus.
This is where I think they've got to try and force him into the corner and not let him come back on his right foot.
Zambrotta crossing with his left foot, and
very
very ably too.
Fair, yep.
Di Vaio. Camoranesi. He's played in Thuram. Charged down by O'Shea, but at the expense of a corner. David Trezeguet was the leading goal scorer in Italian football last season. And that is the kind of chance that certainly his coach would expect him to take. Certainly the money they pay for him. Camoranesi's corner. Oh, and that was another very good headed chance. Antonio Conte, I think.
Well, I mean, United have played well, but they've certainly had their fortune tonight. Mainly due to the fact of some very, very poor finishing by Juve.
But they lead through a 15th-minute goal from their substitute, Ryan Giggs, to replace the injured Diego Forlan inside the first 10 minutes. Scored after excellent work from Beckham, Solskjaer, and this man, Veron. Zambrotta. Ferrara. Half-time whistle is 10 minutes away. And if Manchester United could just speed up the clock, they could just do with a timeout at the moment. Nedved. Conte bursting forward from midfield. Lost the ball behind himself for a moment. Veron can trick opponents, but very occasionally he tricks himself. No room for anything too flowery for Manchester United just now. Di Vaio. This is Camoranesi. I think it hit Bartes. He beat his hands and arms and just hit his head, maybe.
Full marks, he stood his ground once again. United somehow or other managed to stay in the lead.
Somehow. Volume being turned up in the Stadio della Alpi. Marcello Lippi believes that his team should not have left Old Trafford empty-handed last week. He took pride in the display of a depleted side, but he knows that taking points is the only way to progress, and at the moment...
That's credit to the keeper, that. Great little darting run off the side from Camoranesi. And once again, the French goalkeeper made a very, very good block.
Ryan Giggs rolled in towards Solskjaer. It's Nicky Butt! Oh, he hits the post! Out as far as David Beckham.
Well, that is an even easier chance than the one we talked about Juve missing.
Manchester United's turn to curse their luck as Juventus break. Di Vaio. Camoranesi. Headed by Ferdinand is important. Veron to Beckham. Game remarkably stretched with still 8 minutes away from half-time.
And to think we sat there before the game just wondering whether it was going to be an after the Lord Mayor's Show game. Brilliant match at the moment.
Actually more eventful than last week's game, last week's first half.
I mean, this is wonderful. Did he touch that?
Oh, I don't know. It might have been a save by Buffon.
Made a save there by the big keeper.
I'll tell you what, the fellow who was in goal last week wouldn't have made that save. Juventus missed their number one. Free kick has gone against Nicky Butt. He's had his arms around Edgar David's waist. It's not something I'd chance when I have my back to him. Push from Ferdinand. It's Italian television is providing our coverage tonight, and the 1,433 replays that we've seen so far. But one goal scored by Ryan Giggs after 15 minutes. David's losing out to Butt. He hasn't had the best of nights so far, David's.
There always seems to be that extra little bit of pressure on him when he gets the ball over. I mean, even for the goal last week, the winning goal, as it turned out, as soon as he got the ball, there were red shirts flying at him.
Ferrara surviving an error. Thuram lofted forward towards Nedved. And conceding a free kick. A little bit desperate now. Just a hint of that about some of Juventus's play.
Yeah, certainly Nedved hasn't been as effective as Lippi would have liked him. Or, you know, no small measure to Phil Neville on that respect, but I think they'd definitely have a better balance if for a while they switched him out on the left-hand side.
Manchester United edging towards a half-time lead. That's a poor pass from Conte, intercepted by Giggs. His first touch was a little heavy, but he can go on. He's raced away from Ferrara and from Montero. It's Ryan Giggs. It's a truly brilliant goal. The type that only Ryan Giggs can score.
And what will that do for him? Saying tonight, possible confidence down, things haven't been quite going his way. That is vintage Giggs. 2 goals coming off the bench. It's beginning to look like a bit of a storybook for him. This is excellent. I mean, the defenders aren't the quickest in the world, and the one thing they don't want to see is players like Giggs travelling against it. But that's a super finish. He gets there, he's tidy, he's on his so-called wrong foot, the foot that was much maligned the other week against Arsenal. Just getting back to Solskjaer, he's occupied defenders, he's running behind them, and he's been a terrific target man and give the midfield players a chance to support him.
Camoranesi. Davids. Well, Ryan Giggs was planning on an evening no more strenuous than the millions of you watching at home. He had his feet up on the substitutes bench, resting his limbs in readiness for the Worthington Cup final on Sunday. Diego Forlan got injured. He was summoned into action within 10 minutes. And look what's happened. He scored twice